Okay, so in this training, we're going to set up your messages, and messages are found in settings. So before you even set up stories, you will need to set up messages so that you can assign them to your stories, right? For example, if this is the very first time you are setting up this story, you will actually need to set up messages first, and you can see select message groups. So you need to set up message group, but in order to set up message groups, you'll need to set up message segments, and I'll explain that very shortly on exactly how that works. Once you set up messages, you just need to switch this to on, right? So the very first time you are setting up this particular story, um, you will need to do that. All right, so let's get into the messages. So right here, you can see there is what's called message segments and message groups. So message segments are basically messages, your outreach messages broken down into segments, right? So, and this is particularly useful if you are sending a lot of messages, and you want to keep under the radar of Facebook, right? So you want to create variations. You want to create variations of messages so that every single message seems different. Okay. So there's a few different ways of doing this, right? So you can break this down into an intro, into a body, and call to action. And then what we're doing here in message groups, we are then grouping them together, right? So we are then grouping all these three together. So let me just show you the first way of doing it. So intro could be something like, hey, very simple. Hi, hey, what's up? Right. So there's three variations here. And if we go to body, so body could say something like, hey, thanks for viewing my story. I'm just testing out my new software that automatically reach out to anyone who interacts and views my stories. Now, for you, this could be collecting leads. It could be throwing out a lead magnet. Who wants a free ebook on how I transform my entire business to 0 to 50K in 30 days, right? So it could be just be like, hey, thanks for viewing my story. Would you like more information about such and such, right? My product or services, or um, on how I help 50 clients in 50 days, right? So that is your body. Now, I would always end with a call to action, right? So when you're reaching out to your potential leads, give them an intro, give them a body, and then end with a call to action. So it could be yes or no, get them to respond, right? So, hey, I've got a special offer. Hey, I've got a really awesome group that does trainings every single day. Would you like to be a part of it? Right? Would you want me to send you a link? Or I'm offering something for free, right? Would you like to claim it? Right? So something like that. Always have a call to action, okay? Which basically means, hey, ask them a question, ask them a specific question for them to prompt their response. Because at the end of the day, what you want is you want to start a conversation, right? So this is a great way of reaching out to your prospect and getting an answer out of them. Okay. Now you could merge any of these fields. So it could be first name, option. So option A, option B is simply polls. So polls, it could be either option, like there's only two options for polls, right? Either A or B. Okay. So you can replace that. These are merge fields. Okay. So once we have these three segments created, so you can see we've got three variations in our intro. There is three variations in our body. And then we have two variations in our call to action. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we are then going to group them together. Okay. So we are going to, so the first thing to do is make sure you add, same with segment as well. When you create a segment, make sure you add, so add these first. So these are different variations of a particular segment. You add this first and you can have merge fields and then you update, right? So first you add and then you update. and that's saved the segments. So once that's saved, you want to create then a message group. And basically what this means is we are then grouping the segments together, right? We're grouping the entire segments together so that, this goes out as one message. But what this is going to do is this is going to pull a segment within intro, and then coupled with a segment in body, and then coupled with a segment in call to action. And that goes out as an entire message, right? So what that means is, we've got 3 variations for intro, 3 variations for body, and 2 variations for call to action, right? Obviously, you can vary these as many as you want, but that means 3 times 2, 3 times 3 times 2. So that's what's that? 9 times 2. That's 18 possible ways that a message can go out, and that could be different, right? So every message is completely different. So if you're worried about Facebook, Facebook, trying to sort of stop all your messages because you're sending too much, you don't need to worry about that, because we are limiting the risk of Facebook picking that up by doing something like this, right? So we are creating a spin text on each of the variations, and then we're adding them all together so that each and every one of your messages looks completely different. Okay, so I'm going to add, so insert, so this, I've already done that, but I'll just show you how that actually works. So insert, go to message segments. I want to include intro, and then right after intro, I want to include a body, and then right after body, I want to include a call to action, and then just add. So once you add, and then you click update, and that's it. That is your message segment. Okay. Now, that's one of the ways in which to create a message segment. Or what you can do is you could just type in your entire, hang on. You could just add in your entire message. Oh, hang on, not this one. All right. So, boom. All right. Okay. So right here, this is a deal or message groups. Okay. Hang on. All right. So what you can also do is you can type out your entire message and then have, message number 1 and message number 2, and then maybe message number 3, right? And that could be just 2 or 3 variations. You could do that as well if you want. So obviously, if you do that, it will be less variations, which is fine. Like if if you're only sending 5, 10, 20 messages, that's completely fine, right? Have maybe 3 different variations. That would be completely fine. So you can do that. Just type out your entire message, and then in your message group, let's say, for example, just call it your snooping. All you need to do is to select the message segment, which is called Just Caught You Snooping, right? That's all you need to do, right? Very, very simple. Okay, so now your messages is set up. What you want is then you want to assign this to your story, okay? You want to assign this to your story. So once you have your messages set up, then you want to come here to the drop down box, okay? And this will have all your message groups that you have just grouped together, that you have just grouped all those message segments together into a group, okay? So let's say, for example, you want to select this and you want to select this. So this is how you set up polls. If you want to set up for reactions as well, you can come here just to the drop down. If you want to set it to anyone who views your stories, you can just select none of the above and click on one of the messages. I mean, it could be the same message or it could be completely different. It's completely up to you. And then all you need to do is to click on and then click save, right? Click on and click save, and that's all you need to be doing, right? So let me just show you. All right. So I'm not going to activate that, but this is all you need to be doing. So click on Setup Story, select your messages, click on. You could also click off as well. But once you do it the first time, so once the first time you've done it, it will show up as on or off. And you can come here, just turn it on or off. But if you haven't set it up for the very first time for this particular story, you just need to click on Setup Story, and then it will change to on and off, right? So for example, this story, you can see 2 people have said, hey, deal please. 2 people have said, resell please. And message delivered was 3 messages. So 3 messages delivered automatically. So this is without your intervention. So you can see, look, you could I literally ran this like yesterday. And after I set this up, I just literally went to sleep. That's it. Hands off, went to sleep, and it automatically delivered messages for me. Okay, so you can see, so there's 4 people on the poll, so which means there's 1 more message that needs to be delivered. And you could also activate for anyone that doesn't actually click on any of your polls or any of your reactions. You could also go out there and be like, hey, you could also go out and be like, thanks for viewing my story. Hey, thanks for viewing my story. Would you like more information about such and such, right? So that's something you could do. And basically that is all you need to be doing, right? That's all you need to be doing. So, all right. So, if there's any questions at all, please don't hesitate. Just reach out, let me know. Now, in terms of syncing, in terms of the sync, once you sync the very first time, as I said in my last training, once you sync for the very first time, you don't need to be doing this again. Okay. So it will automatically sync anytime between 15 and 30 minutes. It will automatically adjust and it will automatically sync so that once you set this up, that's it, right? Hands off. You can go to sleep. You can go on a date night. You could go and watch a movie. This will be done automatically in the back end for you. Okay. So anyway, I will see you soon, and let me know if there's any questions.